Hi, and welcome to the listening window. Today's story is called I Thought He Was Just a Stranger. This is an English listening and speaking practice story told in clear, everyday English. You'll hear natural phrases, emotional storytelling, and a surprising twist. You can download the full script, vocabulary list, quiz, answer key, and a bonus writing and speaking prompt by clicking the link in the description. Let's begin. IT all started on a rainy Tuesday morning. I was running late for work. My umbrella had flipped inside out, and I was already drenched by the time I reached the bus stop. I remember thinking, could this day get any worse? That's when I saw him, tall, dressed in a dark hoodie, sitting at the far end of the shelter. He had a large backpack and didn't say a word, just stared at the ground. I almost didn't notice him, but something about the way he sat, so still, caught my attention. I gave a polite nod, like I always do with strangers, and stood under the tiny dry patch of the shelter. He didn't respond, just looked up at me briefly, then back down. I told myself not to overthink it. When the bus came, I got on quickly. The man followed. I chose my usual seat, third row on the left. He sat directly behind me. I know it's normal. It's a public bus. But still, I had a weird feeling, like I was being watched. I kept glancing back, pretending to fix my hair, just to check. He wasn't staring. But I couldn't shake the uneasiness. At the next stop, he got off before me. I watched him walk down the sidewalk and disappear into the fog. I took a deep breath, feeling silly for being so paranoid. But then I saw him again the next day, and the day after that, always at the same stop. Same hoodie, same backpack. He never spoke. Never smiled, just sat, then followed me onto the BUS. BY Friday, I was genuinely scared. I told my best friend, Lila, about him. You're probably overthinking, she said. Maybe he just has the same schedule as you. Maybe, I replied. But my gut said otherwise. That night, I stayed late at work. I thought I might avoid him by taking a later bus, but there he was, sitting at the stop, waiting. I didn't get on the bus that time. I pretended to tie my shoe and let it pass. Then I took a cab home. I knew something was wrong. I decided to go to the police. I gave them his description, the time, the route. They told me they'd check the bus cameras and see if he was a threat. They were calm, but I could tell they thought I was just nervous. Still, it felt good to do something. The weekend passed quietly, but on Monday, everything changed. He wasn't at the bus stop. He wasn't on the bus. He was standing in front of my building. I froze. He didn't move. Didn't say anything. Just looked at me. I turned and walked the other way, heart pounding. I called the police as I walked, voice shaking. When they arrived, he was gone. But something strange happened after that. The officer who followed up brought a photo. Is this the guy you saw? He asked. I nodded quickly. He nodded too. Then said something I wasn't prepared for. He's your brother. What? He's your brother. Lucas. He was reported missing 3 years ago. I stared at the photo. Same eyes. Same nose. Same scar on the chin. No. My brother died in a car crash. They told us he didn't survive. I said, my voice trembling. They were wrong. He was in a coma for 2 years. When he woke up, he had memory loss. He's been in a care facility since. Recently, he started walking out. Always went the same route. Your route. We didn't know why. I couldn't breathe. The stranger wasn't a stranger. He was my brother. He had found his way back to me somehow. I met him the next day. Properly. At the facility, he didn't remember my name. But when I held his hand, he smiled. That was enough. That rainy Tuesday changed everything, and I never looked at a stranger the same way again. Thanks for listening to today's story. I thought he was just a stranger. You can download the full script, vocabulary list, quiz, answer key, and a bonus writing and speaking prompt by clicking the link in the description. And now it's your turn. What do you think happens next? Does her brother ever get his memory back? Tell us your version of the ending in the comments below. See you next time on the listening window.